We're gonna go for a little ride in the Mustang here. Just had lunch. Heading back to Volusia. I'd make a warehouse run. Picked up some paint. Got some Hex primer for my Beetle and some black paint for my Nova. So we're in South Orlando now. Colonial Drive area. I guess this is like clunk 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 Bumby, Old Orlando. We're by the Executive Airport. Just had lunch at Beefy King. Well, I got a sandwich from there and ate it at the park. Didn't see any planes landing, so I didn't get anything like that. But figured I'd turn the camera on and give you a little look at O-Town. We don't get over here very often, and it's probably going to be pretty populated, so I got you set up on the dash there, hands-free, driving the car like you're supposed to. Throat's feeling a little better today. Can actually talk without losing my breath. Now Andrea has it, so I feel bad for her. She has asthma, so it's hard on her, but we'll get through it. Oh, the car's gonna run like shit. It's got this thing where it runs fine, then all of a sudden runs like crap for a while, and then it'll run fine for another 100 or so miles. And anybody has any ideas out there, feel free to comment. Usually you have to put it in neutral and do a rod bolt test to get it to clear out. And I hate doing that, but I'm not above it. I won't drive it running like shit. I'll either hang the rods out of it or it'll run better. But, I figured some sort of fuel pressure issue. Maybe fuel pressure accumulator's bad or something, but it's not consistent. It's not all the time. Seems to get aggravated when you drive at highway speed and then get on some city streets. We give it a little rod bolt test, clear it out there and see if it acts better. I'm really getting aggravated with the problem. It had this problem before I sold the car, and when I got it back it still did the same thing, so I figured if I sold it somebody would fix that, but no. So I might have to address that. Probably gonna have to pull the intake off of this later and fix the water leak I got. I've been putting that off for a while, but just been doing other stuff, so maybe we'll do that today. Hans was supposed to pull it off for me, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I can feel it running like shit, so yeah. It runs like it's got way too much fuel. Who knows? Anyway, little HD dash cam there of the traffic. Hope you like that kind. This is what road is this? McGuire Boulevard and Highway 50 out there in front of us. And if you could see over to the right there through the light, that's the Sears Auto Center where Johnny Marks works. That's where Johnny works there. Fellow YouTuber, Garage Gang member. Doesn't make much videos anymore, but every once in a while I'll pop one up. But anyway, this area has been around forever. They haven't leveled it yet, but there's a dying mall over there behind the Sears, and a lot of strip malls and stuff. We'll go through what they call Little China up here on Highway 50. All kinds of little Chinese, Vietnamese, and Thai shops. It's pretty cool. A lot of history on this side of town. Unlike where I live, not much happens. You can see the lights are a lot longer here in the big city. That's why I moved to the little city. I hate these traffic lights and the traffic and everything about living in a big city. Just don't need it anymore. It's too stressful for me. I'm sure a lot of you guys live where the traffic's much worse, like California. But yeah. This is the other problem people in Florida like to do. You got this lady trying to cross the road here, and it's got a big red hand sticking in the crosswalk sign there. Don't know if you can see that, but that means don't walk, and that usually means walk to people. But what are you gonna do? You can't run people over. Street racing stories. A lot of guys are telling street racing stories, and I want to go talk to Bobby Burgett, but right here where we're parked now, there's a Steak and Shake to my left. That's where we all used to meet up, and this road right here was lined with people on both sides of this road and in the median. And this used to be a OG Wilson store, sporting goods store on the corner right here on the other side of this light. And Bobby Burgett and Mark Shives raced stoplight to stoplight here, I don't know, for a couple $1,000, and it was probably one of the best races that I've ever seen. But it was a pretty cool little drag race. There used to be a lot of street racing in Orlando when I was a kid. And strangely enough, the town's not that big when I was younger, and street racing was really popular. I guess when I was in high school, I was a junior. A lot of my friends were older than me, and I'll try to get some friends to tell this story that were actually there. But a couple of my friends that were in the shop class with me at Colonial High School, they were actually at this particular street race. There was probably about 15-20 people standing out in the middle of the road, huddling around like you do when you street race, out on a desolate road and out in the country. I might take you out there and show you the setup. A lot of the guys were friends of mine. There was one of my friends that I worked with at Scooters. His sister was there. She was one of the people standing in the road. There was a party up the roadways we didn't know about, or the people that were racing didn't know about. And two people left the party, and they were coming down the road with no headlights. And where they used to have the starting line, it was sort of a hill that came down to a flat section of road. So you actually come over a crest, and then we pull off the road and race right there. And normally there's no traffic, you know. But on that night, there was two cars coming from a party with no headlights on, driving side by side on that road. And they came over that hill and drove through a crowd of people. And street racing was never the same in this town. Now, you know, the import scene came along, and there's a lot of racing like that. But I'm talking, you know, old school American iron used to be pretty popular. And I think we lost about 12 people that night, died when the cars hit them. And I got to see the repercussions. My friend Jim Brown, his car had a couple people that had been thrown into it, and we repaired it. We had rebuilt his car in shop class, and he happened to be parked out there, and he was one of the kids that got hit. And Julie Narrett, she lost her life. She died also out there. And there was a couple twins that passed away. It was a pretty bad deal. And a lot of times after that, when we go street race, if anybody got caught street racing that was in that crowd, they'd get chewed out pretty bad by the cops. The cops remembered it pretty well. It was a small town, and it wasn't like there was a lot of different cops for different sections. You know, there was basically a couple of deputies that patrolled, you know, at night, and they knew what was up with the street racing crowd and who was who. But that's pretty much when I quit street racing. I raced the Nova a couple times right before I took it off the street. I was going to sell it, and one of the guys that worked at the speed shop wanted to try it out, so he took it out, and we raced about 20 cars with it before the cops showed up. And a rocker arm had broken or fallen off of it, and I was trying to fix the rocker arm, and a cop walked up and said, "Son, I'd drive it home broke unless you want to spend the night in jail." And I remember pulling the spark plug out, pulling the rocker arm and push rods out of it, and I drove it home like that with 7 cylinders. better than going to jail. I got some other really good street racing stories, but I'd like to get them from the horse's mouth. You know, it's always better when the person that was involved can tell the story. We built a turbo bug when I worked for Scooter, and we ended up racing a guy, Mark Shives, that's sort of famous in Orlando here. He's got a Nova that's pretty fast. Back in the day, it ran like 1070s, maybe 10 flat, I don't know. And he decided we were going to race the Volkswagen against his car, and everybody came out. It was like all the old street racing greats came out, and there was older people there, probably my age, that, you know, when you're a kid, you're not used to seeing guys in their 40s, you know, come to a street race. And all the old timers came, and we all went out to a place called Rocket City first, and the cops got tipped off, and they ended up having to close that road that we were just on, Highway 50, to let everybody out of there. And we ended up going back to Steak and Shake, congregated there for a while, and we ended up racing out at Silver Sand Mines, which is in Apopka, which is on the other side of the town. And we ended up getting the race off, but we ended up getting busted right as the race went off. We actually raced one race, and we were going for double or nothing. And Mark's car was uncapped. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and he was doing big pro stock burnouts. Had a tunnel ram and a really healthy small block. And Scooter was driving the turbo bug, and he just basically heated the tires up. He was doing a big wheel stand right when the cop pulled up, and it was really a hilarious night. We ended up getting the cars back. Mark got his car impounded because it didn't have a tag and stuff, but it was pretty good experience. You know, I'm sure a lot of people remember that night. And then, like I said, I'll try to get maybe go by Law Products where Mark works, BLP, and see if he'll tell the story. Rick's a doctor now, so he's probably not into the street racing thing. I'm sure he remembers it though. He wasn't driving the car, and when Scooter got busted, he walked down there to talk to the cops, and the cops made everybody leave that weren't driving the cars, and then he wanted to know who the owner of the car was, and Scooter's like, you just told him to leave. Anyway, it was a pretty good time, street racing. I think after all our friends got killed and stuff, we just started racing at the track more, and didn't race on the street so much. And then now, you know, the consequences are much higher if you get caught street racing than when we were kids. You know, there's nothing more serious than losing your life, obviously. But before that happened and we got caught, it was just a slap on the hand. Nobody went to jail or got a ticket. You know, they sort of warned you about it. And I just want to point out that it wasn't actually, you know, racing that got those people killed. It was being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Anyway, I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm sure it'll be forever to upload it. That's the one bad thing about the HD camera is its upload time is really long. You have to import it from the camera to the computer, and then from the computer to YouTube. And I'm sort of learning the process, I think. Going through Winter Park now. Science Center, Winter Park Chain of Lakes here. Another beautiful area. You can't see over to the left, but that's the hospital where I had my neck surgery done. Same hospital where my grandmother died. Mixed feelings about that place. So hopefully this video is not too boring. Hopefully you guys are all doing good. It's been a while since I pushed the record button. I apologize. Been having some health issues, and I know a lot of you guys are that are closer to me that have been watching my channel for a while. We've talked on the phone, and you know what's going on. But a lot of people don't want to know the day-to-day. They're really not into it, and I can't blame you for that. You know, it's not very attractive. it's not fun for me, and I'm sure it's not interesting to you. But it's just part of my life right now that I'm having to go through. And you know, until I get the surgery and get everything fixed, I'm just gonna not be in a very good place. So I've been going to a lot of doctors, getting a lot of x-rays and stuff, and I had to go to the doctors the other day and get sort of an emergency spinal tap fluid drained off the spine and some sort of trigger point injection to make the pain go away. I was getting ready to go in the hospital. I didn't want to get the shot because they didn't do it under anesthesia. I don't know if you've ever had a trigger point injection, but when you have an inflamed situation and they give you that shot, it's like somebody's blowing you up with an airline. It's intense pressure. And a spinal tap's just an awful thing to go through while you're awake. And I just drove myself to the doctor's office, and the first day I went, they wouldn't see me. A lot of you guys know I'm dyslexic, and besides having the medical issues, you know, that issue is starting to raise its ugly head, man. When I was working in the automotive field and the auto body field, I was able to get by, and it didn't show its head too much. Didn't present a problem not being able to spell, put stuff on paper. When you work in a big shop, there's always a service writer. You're not writing estimates, you're basically just doing your trade. And I have no problem with the welding and the measuring and, you know, the frame machine stuff, but if I have to spell something, man, it's a very big challenge. And I went to the doctor's office, and same doctor I've been going to for 11 years, but he's got a different office now. So there's new office people. And I went in there, and it's just a basic form that you have to fill out. I'm sure everybody's done it 100 times. You know, when we had the YouTube garage thing, I had to go to the doctors, and Greg Porter was nice enough to go to the doctors and not give me too much shit, and he filled the paperwork out for me. And, you know, he doesn't know how much that means to me or how hard that would be for me to do. But needless to say, I told the girl that I couldn't fill the paperwork out, that I was dyslexic. And she told me that if I couldn't fill the paperwork out, they couldn't see me, and that she thought that I should be able to get through that form. And I couldn't get through the form for $1 million is the bad part. You know, that's just how it is when you can't spell. It's a disability. And I never had to worry about that until now, because now I have to try to retrain myself, maybe find a job where, you know, I have to do that kind of stuff. So it's pretty depressing. It got me down for a couple days, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't get to go to the doctor that day, and it just got worse. And Andrew was trying to get me to go to the hospital for about 5 days. So when I finally got to the doctor's office, I was, you know, in tears, crying, and he felt like shit because they turned me away. And he told me he's either gonna have to check me into the hospital or give me the trigger point and drain the fluid. And he did that, and I stayed there for about an hour, and I was able to drive home, and I'm feeling better. But I just don't fill you in on all this stuff because, you know, it's boring. And a lot of guys don't want to hear about this stuff. They want the paint videos and repair videos, and I understand that. But this channel's sort of a vlog channel too, I guess. And the guys that watch it for the vlog, you know, that's the whole idea behind vlogging is, you know, letting everybody know what's going on with your day-to-day. So I thought I'd fill you in. Now you know, everybody knows. I'm probably going to go ahead and shut this off because it's getting long and it'll be hard to upload. But we'll get back to some regular videos. Like I said, I got some etch primer for the Bug, and I got some black paint for the engine compartment on the Nova. So we'll do that. And I'll have those videos coming up for you guys that like the action videos. And for you guys that like the riding vlogs, here you go. I'll try to upload this when I get back, see how many millions of files it is. And hope everybody's doing good. Push that record button and have a great day.